So let's get one thing straight. When we talk about AI in construction, especially right here in Canada, forget the sci-fi stuff. We are not talking about some far-off future anymore. We are talking about right now. Because as of 2026, AI is officially on the job site, and it's being put to work to solve some of the most frustrating problems in the industry. But let's start with a question that, well, if you're in this industry, you know it all too well. With all the amazing tools and expertise we have, why does it feel like we're constantly fighting the exact same battles on every single project? You know the ones, the schedule slips, the budget creep. Why is that still the norm? This is the core problem that AI is now being used to tackle. So before we jump into the shiny new solutions, let's really appreciate the problem. We've got to understand the depth of these challenges, because these aren't just little headaches, right? These are foundational, stubborn hurdles that have been tripping up the construction industry for decades. And I'm sure these are going to look familiar. You've got the classic schedule overruns that can just derail an entire project. Then there's the literal mountain of documentation that just buries teams in paperwork. You add to that all the little labor inefficiencies that are so hard to even see, let alone fix. And maybe the biggest one of all, just not being able to see major risks until, bam, they've already become major problems. But this is where the story really starts to get interesting, because the answer to those old, stubborn problems is finally moving out of the lab and onto the active job site. We've hit a turning point. AI isn't an experiment anymore. It's a real tool in the toolbox. And this is absolutely crucial to understand. All across Canada, in provinces like Ontario and British Columbia, the big general contractors are plugging AI directly into their project management platforms. And this isn't just for show. They're using it to get real, practical, bottom-line results. Things like fewer surprises, making decisions faster, and just getting better coordination all around. Okay, so how exactly is this all working? How is it making a real difference? Let's break down the 3 main ways that AI is delivering tangible value on the job site today. First up, we've got predictive scheduling. Now, imagine this. Instead of just tracking your progress as it happens, an AI digs through all of your past project data, looking for hidden patterns. Then it can flag a very specific task, say drywall installation on the 5th floor, and warn you weeks ahead of time that it's got a high chance of being delayed. This is a huge shift, moving teams from just reacting to problems to actually getting ahead of them. Second on the list is automated documentation. Just think about all the hours your team spends writing daily reports, organizing thousands of progress photos. It's a ton of work. Well, AI can now take all that information and summarize it for you automatically. This is an absolute game changer on big, complex projects. It frees up your site leaders to actually focus on building, not on paperwork. And number 3 is automation right there at the field level. Using something called computer vision, AI can look at photos and videos from the site and spot things a human might easily miss, like a missing safety rail or some incomplete work in a hard-to-see spot. It's almost like having an extra set of expert eyes on your site 24/7. So when you put it all together, the change is it's stark. We're talking about a fundamental move from being reactive to being predictive. We're going from spending hours on manual paperwork to getting automated summaries in just minutes. And we're shifting from doing occasional site checks to having continuous, data-driven monitoring. The efficiency you gain from this is just massive. But, and this is a big but, this is not a story about technology taking over people's jobs. Not at all. In fact, maybe the most important part of this whole shift is understanding how the humans and the AI are meant to work together. And this right here, this is the core idea. The best AI tools on the planet are basically useless without human expertise to guide them. See, the technology doesn't make decisions. It just provides insights. It's designed to empower an experienced project manager or superintendent, giving them better information so they can make smarter calls. It augments their judgment. It doesn't replace it. The companies that are really winning with this technology, they all follow a pretty clear 3-part formula. They start with those powerful insights that the AI generates. Then they pair those insights with really disciplined, consistent project processes. And most importantly, they empower strong leaders on site to take that info and turn it into real action. It's the combination of all 3 that really makes the magic happen. And all this leaves us with a really fascinating question to think about for the future. As AI gets better and better at handling all the data, the forecasting, and the really tedious admin work, what does the human leader do best? It points to a future where managers can spend way less time chasing down information and way more time on actual leadership, on communication, and on solving those complex human problems that, frankly, no algorithm is ever going to be able to touch.